Yo, what's up, guys? We got another video today, and we're gonna be talking about the $2 billion collapse of ChatGPT. Now, the business circle, I'm not really sure where he's going with this, because it seems like ChatGPT is looking really strong right now. With that being said, let's see what he has to say about this.
2022. A company nobody had heard of released a
Sam
chatbot
Alt.
that would change everything.
Hey ChatGPT.
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 Within 5 days, ChatGPT hit 1 million users. Within 2 months, it became the fastest growing consumer application in history. Fast forward to today, and that same company just declared code red.
OpenAI declaring code red.
Code red.
OpenAI has declared a code red over
ChatGPT.
GPT.
This means things aren't going well. Something is fundamentally broken. But how is it possible that ChatGPT went from being one of the most important projects in the world to a $5 billion collapse? On a winter night in December 2015, some of Silicon Valley's biggest names announced something unusual. They were giving away $1 billion to build artificial intelligence that would benefit everyone, not just shareholders. Elon Musk stood alongside a young startup incubator president named Sam Altman, and together they unveiled OpenAI as a non-profit research lab with a revolutionary promise. Whatever they built would belong to humanity. The founding team read like an AI dream roster. They'd recruited Ilya Sutskever straight from Google, where he'd helped build the neural networks that could recognize faces and understand speech. They brought in researchers from Facebook, from academia, from every corner of the machine learning world. And they made one thing crystal clear. This wasn't about making money. But here's the thing about building super intelligent machines. It's really, really expensive. By 2018, OpenAI was burning through cash at a pace that made their $1 billion pledge look almost quaint. Their computing bill alone jumped from $2.3 million.
I was like, they were given $1 billion. I was like, that even sound like a lot to do what they're being asked to do.
To nearly $31 million in just 2 years.
Especially with the scale.
Musk, who'd contributed somewhere between $15 and $50 million, depending on who you ask, stepped away from the board, citing potential conflicts with Tesla's own AI work. Behind closed doors, though, tensions had been building. In one email that would later surface in court documents, Musk himself admitted the math didn't work. Even raising several $100 million won't be enough.
That didn't work.
This needs billions per year immediately, or forget it. So in March 2019,
Okay. Even raising several hundred million won't be enough. This needs billions per year immediately, or forget it. Yeah, that makes sense. That tracks with what I was thinking, honestly. I was like, it kind of tracks.
Or forget it. So in March 2019, OpenAI did something its founders once said they'd never do. They created a capped profit company, a strange hybrid where investors could make returns, but only up to 100 times their investment. Anything beyond that would flow back to the non-profit mission. It was a compromise, a way to attract the capital they desperately needed,
up to 100
while
times.
theoretically staying true to their ideals.
So they limited the amount that people could profit from it beyond a certain point. That's cool, actually, because that means that like the scalability factor of it isn't entirely dependent on like how much greed and like profit can like whoever invests in it make, but everyone's capped in their investment, and then the rest is to be reinvested. That's cool, actually. I think that's good.
Months later, Microsoft wrote a $1 billion check. The partnership gave OpenAI access to Microsoft's Azure cloud infrastructure, and more importantly, it gave them a lifeline. Over the next few years, Microsoft would pour in another $2 billion. Then in January 2023, a staggering $10 billion more, making it one of the largest corporate investments in AI history. And what did Microsoft get for their $13 billion? A front row seat to the AI revolution. When OpenAI released GPT-3 in June 2020, researchers were stunned. Here was a system that could write poetry, debug code, explain quantum physics to a 5-year-old. It had 175 billion parameters, 100 times larger than its predecessor, and
Wow.
it felt genuinely intelligent in ways previous AI never had. But
It became
GPT-3
real.
was just
Like a
the
real
warm-up
AI.
act. On November 30th, 2022, OpenAI quietly released a chatbot called ChatGPT. They figured maybe a few researchers would play with it. What happened instead was something nobody in Silicon Valley had ever seen. 1 million users in 5 days. Within a week, 1 million people were chatting with an AI that could help them write emails, plan vacations, explain their homework. By January, that number had exploded to 100 million monthly users, making ChatGPT the fastest growing consumer application in history. For comparison, TikTok took 9 months to reach that milestone. Instagram took 2.5 years.
Wow.
Inside Google's headquarters, the reaction was immediate and visceral. CEO Sundar Pichai declared what employees called a code red.
So what is code red?
Essentially pulling the fire alarm on the company's entire AI strategy. Larry Page and Sergey Brin on the company's entire AI
is sounding an alarm of its own. Google's Gemini 3 comeback, an increasingly fierce frontier. So what is code red? What does that even do? What does that mean?
strategy. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who had stepped back from daily operations years earlier, were called back to emergency
Can we use
meetings.
subtitles now?
Teams were reshuffled. Projects were accelerated. According to internal documents that later leaked, Google planned to launch 20 new AI products within 6 months. ChatGPT was having its moment. Google was already racing to build their answer. By early 2024, OpenAI's valuation had soared past $80 billion.
80
ChatGPT
bill.
had 200 million weekly active
200
users.
mil.
Sam Altman was meeting with world leaders, testifying before Congress, being hailed as the architect of humanity's AI future. OpenAI had won the race to launch. Now comes the hard part.
Actually
Making
sticking the land.
money. Behind the celebrations, the numbers told a different story. Here's a number that should terrify every
hard part of
OpenAI
making money.
investor.
Well, I mean, we already talked about this. The point of this project for humanity isn't to make money. It's the project for humanity. But all right, let's continue.
$2.25. That's approximately how much OpenAI spends for every dollar it earns. According to internal documents,
Now it can
leaked
make
to the
money,
New York
but that's
Times
not
in
the
September
sole purpose of it.
2024, the company was on track to lose $5 billion that year, despite generating $3.7 billion in revenue. Their computing bill alone hit $7 billion. $4 billion just to run ChatGPT on Microsoft servers. Another $3 billion to train new models. Staffing costs reached $1.5 billion for roughly 1,500 employees. One estimate pegged the daily cost of running ChatGPT at $700,000 every single
Day. That didn't even
The
sound
problem
like that
isn't
much, if we're being honest.
popularity. The problem
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. That didn't even sound like that much. I'm not gonna lie. To run ChatGPT, that's not even that much. Let's look at something. That's not a lot at all, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. How much? Hold on. I should really be looking at this on a different thing. Yeah, okay. How much does Amazon make in sales profit per day? Wait. Oh, that's for the year. Hold on. Over 1.2 billion each day in revenue. Makes an average of 14,000 per day. But okay, that's revenue though. How much does it profit? How much is the profit? 2.1 billion per day in 2025. Is it profit margins vary dramatically? Yeah, okay. How do we? What's the profit though? I don't even know what the profit margins are. Ah, okay. So, estimated profit, right? Per day, 104 million. Per minute, right? Okay, third-party seller fees, right? So that's something that's pretty stable, right? Estimated profit per minute, right? So 72,000, so 10 minutes. 10 minutes of Amazon profit is enough to cover ChatGPT running for a day. Not that much.
Is a business model itself.
That's during this video. The
Traditional
duration of this
software
video
scales beautifully.
has covered, the duration of this video has covered ChatGPT's, running. Yeah, it's been running for 11 minutes. The duration of this video has covered ChatGPT's, daily operational costs. Not that much.
You build it once, sell it millions of times. Each new customer costs
Hold on.
every single day. The problem isn't popularity. The problem is the business model itself.
Yeah, the business model.
Traditional software scales beautifully. You build it once, sell it millions of times. Each new customer costs almost nothing. AI doesn't work that way. Every single question burns real money. Electricity, servers, computing power. The more people use it, the more it costs. Even ChatGPT Pro at $200 per month loses money. Sam Altman admitted it himself on social media. Power users run hundreds of queries daily, each one eating into OpenAI's margins. The more customers loved the product, the more money they lost. And then there was the talent exodus. It started quietly in May 2024, when Ilya Sutskever, the brilliant researcher Musk had helped recruit from Google nearly a decade earlier, announced he was leaving to start his own AI safety company. A day later, Jan Leek, who led OpenAI safety team...
You said AI safety? Does that mean AI is providing safety, or is it safety in the use of AI?
...resigned with a blistering public statement. In August, co-founder John Schulman departed from rival Anthropic. Then in late September, the floodgates opened. Chief Technology Officer Mira Murati, the woman who had overseen the development of ChatGPT, DALL-E, and virtually every product OpenAI had released, quit alongside Research Chief Bob McGrew and VP of Research Barrett Zoff. All three left on the same day, September 25th, 2024. The departures weren't coincidental. They came just as OpenAI announced plans to abandon its non-profit structure entirely. A move that would effectively erase the founding vision Musk and the original team had championed. Meanwhile, Google was clawing back market share. When they released Gemini 3 in November 2024...
That makes sense, honestly, if they left, because they were just like, yeah, now it's for the money. And then, yeah, it makes sense that they would depart.
Benchmarks showed it outperforming ChatGPT on multiple tests. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff posted publicly that he was switching from ChatGPT to Gemini. The leap is insane. According to SimilarWeb data, ChatGPT's share of AI assistant traffic dropped from 87% to roughly 72% in a year, while Gemini's share more than doubled from about 6% to nearly 14%. The pressure was mounting. But this was nothing.
I use Gemini for some stuff. I think I've used Gemini far more than I have ChatGPT. I've never really used ChatGPT like that. Maybe like 3 times, I think. If I'm estimating, I probably only used it like 3 times. But I've used Gemini a couple times. Probably at least like 10 plus.
2024. With executives fleeing and losses mounting, OpenAI announced it would abandon its non-profit roots entirely. The company would become a Delaware Public Benefit Corporation, a regular for-profit business with some mission language attached.
So they're not going to have
those 100 times profit caps early investors had accepted, gone. The backlash was swift.
Right. Delaware has like no taxes, right, for certain categories. Delaware business taxes. Wait, Delaware. No tax. What kind of? I forget what the tax law is in Delaware. Ah, it doesn't have a state or local sales tax. Okay. That's what it is. That's what it was. Yes, they can run it more cheaply and more efficiently, so the overhead is not going to be as taxing. Pun not intended.
Employees, Nobel laureates, and AI pioneers published open letters. California and Delaware attorneys general launched investigations. The criticism boiled down to one
I actually thought
accusation.
about opening one of my businesses, my first one, in Delaware. Or no, it wasn't Delaware. It was like was it Delaware? It was either Delaware or one of those other northern states where the tax laws were super lenient for like business entities, especially. Because I was doing like I had like a bookstore basically, and like I was selling other stuff too, but the things that hit the biggest and the stuff that I liked selling the most was like pop culture toys and stuff like that. And like I sold like little figurines. Like I sold a bunch of like little Star Wars figurines and like books and stuff, and a bunch of stuff really. But I was looking into doing it there. I think it was Wyoming actually that I was looking, or Vermont, not Wyoming or something like that. One of those northern states, but it was because of the lenient tax obligations that it was just gonna make it easier for me to operate, which would have been cool. But I ended up not doing that. I ended up just keeping it here.
OpenAI was stealing assets meant for humanity and handing them to investors. And then there was Elon Musk, the man who'd helped start it all. He filed lawsuits trying
Wait.
And then there
We missed the part.
the criticism boiled down to one accusation. Attorneys general launched investigations. The criticism boiled down to one accusation. OpenAI was stealing assets meant for humanity and handing them to investors. And then there was Elon Musk, the man who'd helped start it all. He filed lawsuits trying to block the transformation. When that failed, he offered $97.4 billion to buy OpenAI outright in February 2025.
Oh, wow.
The board rejected it as a fake bid. OpenAI countersued, releasing emails showing Musk himself had once pushed for exactly this kind of for-profit structure.
Oh, that's crazy.
Despite everything,
Crazy. He tried to make a PR move and got outed. That's crazy. Maybe he's changed his stance, though. I don't know.
Structuring closed on October 29th, 2025. Microsoft now owned 27% of the company, a stake worth $135 billion. The non-profit that remained held $130 billion, but had lost real control. OpenAI was now valued at $500 billion, one of the most valuable private companies ever created. But the fundamental problem remained. They still couldn't make money. By mid-2025, OpenAI was bleeding billions. Then in late November, HSBC published an analysis that stunned Silicon Valley. OpenAI needed $207 billion in additional funding just to reach profitability, which wouldn't happen until after 2030. Partners like Microsoft, Oracle, and CoreWeave had already taken on $96 billion in debt, trying to keep the company afloat. The
Honestly,
Financial
I'm not
Times
gonna lie, like, it's doable. It's easily doable. Like, there's enough people that would be able to invest in it, but a lot of the people that are probably gonna want to invest in it, that have that much to invest in it, are probably not investing in it for the right reasons. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's gonna be difficult to get those funds.
OpenAI, a money pit with a website on top. December 3rd,
A money pit with a
2025,
website on
Sam
top.
Altman sent an internal memo declaring code red, the exact phrase Google had used 3 years earlier when ChatGPT threatened their empire. Now OpenAI was the one panicking.
OpenAI declaring code red.
Code red, code red.
OpenAI has declared a code red over ChatGPT.
The irony was perfect. 3 years ago, Google declared code red because ChatGPT was destroying them. Now, OpenAI was declaring code red because Google was fighting back. Here's a question nobody can answer. Can AI ever actually be profitable? Traditional software scales beautifully. One product, millions of customers, minimal cost per user. AI works backwards. More users means more computing power, means more money spent. The costs accelerate faster than the revenue. Sam Altman still talks publicly about artificial general intelligence and $100 billion futures. But that December memo revealed the truth. Even the most successful AI company in
we've seen this
history
though. We've already
is
seen
one
this
bad
information. We
quarter
saw the other
from
video.
crisis. The
One
$5
bad
billion
quarter from
collapse
crisis?
isn't
Crazy.
coming. It's already here. The only question is whether they can stop it before the money runs out.
Can they? Let's find out. But, hey, that's gonna be the video right now. I'm gonna tell you what's up. Let me know if you're gonna see AI collapsing. If you wanna see it collapsing. If you don't wanna see it collapsing. Let me know. And I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.